Shay from Shay and Period, and this is a current energies report for the, I believe it's the 20th of September, and this month has gone so incredibly fast. I mean, the rest of the year has too, but it's just some days I I really realize that and really feel that, like, holy shit, like the year's almost over. It's insanity. Okay, so with the current energies, okay, basically there hasn't been much coming through. We have somewhat achieved a huge amounts of timeline collapsing in regards to energetic attacks and you know, shall we say, intergalactic energies coming through and all that stuff. Okay, there's been huge amounts of collapses, particularly because I'm just not feeling that much. Okay, and I'm pretty sure also Francie hasn't been feeling too much either on your behalf. Okay, as I have said previously, I'm receiving energies for the your collective second to fifth waves, and also my collective the first wavers. So it makes my days a little bit full on in some ways, but that's okay. As I have said previously, some timelines are being worked through by all of us, okay, both collectives, and I don't mean to separate the two. It's just that because I'm a first waver, I'm speaking from their behalf as well as yours. Okay, so yeah, so some of the energies that we've both been working through, first wavers and second to fifth wavers, okay, the bugs, the freaking bugs. I think I say that every time I talk about bugs. Bugs and insects, okay. As I have said previously, this is a huge portion to clear, okay, and it's somewhat, even though, you know, I mean, look, if you have a human fear of insects and bugs, okay, that could present, and, you know, for those of you, I think I have previously said it, for those of you who have a fear of bugs and insects crawling all over you and things like that, if you do have those fears, please do your best to purge them and clear that energy out of you, because it's not going to serve you any good going forward and having to deal with all of these energies with those fears still sitting in your light body and within your physical self as well. Okay, so yeah, I mean, look, thank you. Your higher self and team will push you through particular fear aspects as well in order to get those fears out of you, okay? Particularly if, because obviously they would be well aware of what's coming through for you, and this is kind of a way to screen it, I guess. You know, they will push you through those triggers and those purges to remove those energies out of you so that you are prepared for what's coming, okay? Particularly with these energies that come in and you're feeling all this stuff clairsentiently and bugs and stuff. It's just, yeah, so, you know, and that applies to anything. You know, needles with, for myself, it was drowning, and thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, I just had to state a little intention there for myself as I do these transmissions and whatnot, which I usually do before I click record now, but I forgot to, so they were just reminding me. Yeah, so basically for myself, you know, I had the fear of drowning. I do believe I have discussed it, where I was pushed through all those purges for about a year, okay? I mean, a whole year dedicated to purging drowning. I mean, why not? But yeah, so I was pushed through that before I came into drowning energies and all the rest of it, through the many times, many ways of dying on other timelines through whatever energetic attacks, okay? Because essentially a lot of those energetic attacks are representations of deaths on those timelines as well, okay, which you will know and feel within yourself. You will feel a portion of yourself somewhat on an energetic level, yes, a portion of yourself dying through those timelines, okay. I do believe I have touched on it before. But yeah, so it is a little bit full on and horrific, but you know, these are the energies that we are working through, okay, and it has to be done in order to clear those energies and collapse out those timelines, okay. So yeah, bugs and insects are happening for everybody, okay. We're all feeling it and we're all clearing it all together, okay. As well as needles. Yeah, look, I've been feeling big ones, as in thick ones, as well as thin ones coming through. As I have previously said, these are more spaced out. All of these energies are more spaced out, okay? And this is how it presents when we have collapsed timelines, okay? They just become less. There's more space in between each energetic attack, shall we say. So, yeah. One of the other things I was feeling, I believe it was last night, thank you, was daggers, okay? Now, I have been feeling daggers come in. They just basically come in and then they're out. Like, it's not really anything. But last night, I did feel on my hip, on my right hip, behind, was it behind? Or, oh, okay, thank you. And they're showing me the grotesque vision of that incident. That's really lovely, thanks. Basically, there was a dagger coming in from the back of my torso on my right side, around to the hip level. It came in at the back and then it kind of hacked around to the side of my hip. It's, yeah, a little bit graphic. I do apologise, but that's what I felt, okay, and that's what I felt on your behalf. So some of you did feel that as well. And, you know, if we were going to be choosy about what we received, you know, personally, I would just like a clean slice, like just slice me, because at least I can deal with that. When they start hacking, and it's horrific. It's so horrific, and it feels, ugh. And especially when your abilities are fine-tuned and you start feeling everything acutely, that hurts and that feels horrific, okay? Yeah, so that happened. And look, basically for a lot of you, because you've hit the monad level, okay, you will be feeling things more acutely, okay? Your clairsentience is going up and up, okay, and you will feel these attacks, as I have previously said, as if they are really happening, okay, as if someone's really stuck a knife in and done whatever, and all these other energies that do come in, okay. Something else I did feel last night as well was like a hand on my back, kind of grabbing my neck, sorry, grabbing my neck from behind and kind of squeezing. And now they're showing me, it's basically somebody who grabbed me by the neck and then kind of moved me roughly, shall we say. Yeah, it's almost like being thrown around by your neck. I mean, some people are just so violent. Or beings, or whatever, just, yeah. Okay, so yeah, I was feeling that on your behalf. Also, a bit yesterday, every now and then, and also this morning, I felt shackles around my wrist. They were quite heavy, okay, and I felt them. This is where things are so acute, and it's just a little bit wrong sometimes. But I felt that they were quite thick shackles around my wrist, and I could feel that they were kind of hanging, like there was a bit of space between my wrist and the actual metal, and even though I couldn't slip out of the shackle if I tried, because shackles are shackles, basically. You're not meant to slip out of them. You're not meant to be able to, but basically I could feel it moving as I moved, kind of thing, or energetically moved on whatever timeline that was. So as I moved, I could feel the shackle kind of moving loosely on my wrist, and you know, it did feel quite heavy as well, like a very heavy metal that was around. Yeah, they're showing me it's a black metal, and there's chain to the other side. Yeah, okay. But yeah, they're connected by a chain to your other wrist with the other shackle around that one. Yeah, not very nice. Thank you. Slavery, victim, victimizer, torture timelines. We keep going back to this dungeon area where angelics have been kept or held, or both, captive. Okay, we've been captive in this dungeon space, basically. Very dark, very, yeah, dank and just hard. Okay. Thank you. I may have mentioned this, I don't know if I did, but I will just discuss it here quickly, because I have been guided to my friend's transmission, and she had basically stated that, excuse me, there's just stuff inside me. This is ridiculous. Excuse me. Yeah, parasitic timelines are kind of across the board. Everyone's feeling that shit, and it's disturbing. They're disturbing. They really are, because they get in everywhere. And ugh. Anyway, yeah, basically she had stated, and which I had felt, and I think I have mentioned this, but I did feel it. Sorry, it's in my head. What is it? Thank you. The Heart Center portal. Okay, the Heart Center portal has opened, and it's opened up on the 18th of this month. Okay, so just a couple of days ago. Now, basically for that's everybody kind of having their heart centers accessed, and you know, if you haven't had your heart chakra opened, this is that time space where it will be opened. For others of you, you're really feeling your heart center just woomph. Okay, there's a massive vibration coming through within the heart chakra itself. Okay, for myself, within my light body and everything that I am, really, I exist on a plasmic level. Okay, my light body is plasmic, and you know, this is higher levels of your process, and thank you. And you know, this is in regards to embodiments and all these things that I've come into, which I will go into for you guys in transmissions. But basically, just to let you guys know that for myself, because I am somewhat a plasma being at this stage, I can feel when the plasma moves within my body, within my light body. Okay, when particular energies are coming through, particular, what are we calling them? Downloads in regards to my personal process. Okay, sometimes this kind of pushes forward particular things to happen within my light body, okay, which is of plasmic, thank you, material, shall we say, or substance. And so for myself, in regards to this heart center portal opening, okay, the other day, what I have been feeling was and experiencing was basically with my heart center, feeling the the plasma being pushed out, kind of coming out, like oozing out, because it's plasma, oozing out of my heart center. A lot of it is particular aspects that no longer need to be in there. Plus, it is also just a, what is that word? Thank you. A reconfiguration of particular things that need to be done within my heart center. Okay. And this is what is also happening for you, for everybody else, in accordance to their levels as well and your levels. So, yeah, so there's a lot of things happening, particularly with the heart center at the moment, and yeah, I've been feeling that, and you know, it's not a particularly nice feeling, but it feels really odd. It's a warm, oozy feeling that of the substance, shall we say, coming out of my heart center, and it's quite lovely, but it's just kind of odd because it's oozing, and I don't know, I think I get a little triggered by the whole oozing thing, but I will detach from that. But yeah, so a lot of things are happening there. And the other thing that I do need to mention, particularly with what's been happening, is that I've noticed a lot of different little, shall we say, signs. There's something here. I think it's my hair. Keeps touching the bottom of my... I mean, it could be anything, but I'm pretty sure it's my hair. One of the other things that I have been feeling, okay, and this is just a general feeling for everybody, okay, what I've been feeling is, sorry, I'm just going to straighten up. What I've been feeling is that something is coming, okay, I don't know what. Thank you, because I'm living in now moment, as I've said previously. Excuse me, I won't know until that moment presents for me, okay? But I can feel it within myself that something major is about to happen. I don't know what. I'm not receiving clarification of it because I'm not meant to know at this stage. And in that, thank you, I'm also not really meant to be discussing what it is, and so that's why they're keeping it from me as well, which is fine. It's understandable. I get it. Because, you know, in regards to infiltrations and stuff, we want to avoid infiltrations as much as possible. But yeah, so there is something happening, there is something coming, and it is huge, okay? I have been feeling it, and I'm sure to whatever degree you guys have been feeling it too, okay? It feels like there's a massive shift coming in with something, with ourselves, with... I kind of feel like it's a large scale thing, but look, I won't know until we hit that point, until I hit that point myself, or you yourself, you know. It's one of those things, we kind of play it by ear, but yeah, everything that I usually pick up on and sense in regards to major shifts, okay, I've been sensing it, I've been seeing the signs for it, it's coming. Whatever it is, I do feel like it's something amazing, but yeah, it just feels like a massive shift of some form, energetically speaking. So I will keep you posted. If there's anything that I come into, of course I will let you know, okay, whatever I'm allowed to know. And relay to you guys, okay? So yeah, so look, in regards to that, just do your best to stay as positive as possible with whatever it is that is happening within your space and within yourself and your process, okay? Yeah, just keep yourself as balanced and as neutral as possible as you work through everything, and you know, try not to focus too much on whatever this shift is as well. Let it go, like acknowledge that something is coming, and then just let it go, and then do what you do, okay? Because what's meant for you will come. It always will, okay? And I just feel like this is one of those things, what's meant for all of us is coming, okay? So that's probably all I can really tell you that I'm allowed, but I don't know, okay? And I won't know till, as I said, till I get there, okay? So yeah, just keep that in mind anyway. As I said, acknowledge it and then release it, and keep going on what you're doing. Okay, so I've addressed that. Yep, thank you. Also, I wanted to let you guys know that I've been guided not to do the imposters list, okay? And this is because, well, I have so much to do that where would I find the time to do that? For one thing. For another thing, I'm guided to release that what is it? It's all that energy. Thank you. Yeah, I'm guided to release it purely because I don't need that in my space. I don't need to call in any of that negative energy into my space, because by fixating on it and creating that list and doing that transmission, I'm calling it in, and I have enough on my plate, basically, and yeah, I don't need any more than what I have been receiving, which is a shit ton, and it's beyond some days lately, but that's okay. Basically, the note that I have to say in regards to this imposter situation, okay, for you guys, you are, how are we putting it? You are yourselves in a space where you should be practicing discernment constantly, okay? Because look, if you've moved past the soul matrix, okay, discernment is kind of part and parcel with your process, okay? It's second nature. It should have become second nature for you, okay? So in regards to that, when you're viewing whatever it is that you're viewing and being led to witness, okay, for yourself, you know, it's for you to use your discernment, okay? Is this person talking real shit, or are they talking bullshit, basically, okay? You know, and this is where you need to question whatever it is that, you know, these people are speaking of, and does it resonate with you? And if it doesn't, then just let it go, okay? Discernment is extremely important within your process of transcendence. I have said it before, but it's one of those things that I can't say enough of, okay? In order for you to get through, shall we say, as peacefully as possible, you need to be practicing discernment constantly, okay? And in regards to imposters and infiltrators, you know, we discern whether that serves our highest purpose or not, okay? And if it doesn't, we let it go. We just let people do what they do, because essentially that's a part of their process too. Even though it looks like they're talking a whole lot of horse shit, okay, that's fine, okay? If you're picking up on other energies as well that are coming through from them, high frequency energies that feel like they're infiltration energies, that's okay too, but that you just walk away from it. You just let it go, okay? Because it's not for you, because you have other things to attend to and other things to do, basically. So, yeah, please do always practice discernment. Make sure that you know, in the spirit of discernment, make sure that you are questioning what it is that you're witnessing, okay? And this is how we poke holes in illusions and all the rest of it, okay? Particularly when it comes to physical reality stuff. And actually, I wanted to say something else there, but that's okay. They pushed another word out of me. This is what I mean. I don't think for myself. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I'm just going to take a note of something, and I will come back to that in a minute. Yeah, so always use your discernment in whatever it is that you're witnessing, because it's going to assist you to see what works for you and what doesn't, what resonates with you and what doesn't, see where the infiltrations are and imposters and all that, but then you let it go and you continue on, okay? And look, you know, in regards to all of that and, you know, our lovely negative Nancy friends, look, there is always room for infiltration within your own timelines, within your own space and process. But, you know, this goes back to the illusions and discerning whether you're meant to feed into it or not, okay? Or you're meant to experience whatever it is or not. And you know, sometimes the infiltrations do get in, and you know, this is where you see cloned versions of yourself or your counterpart and so on and so forth, and you know, things start getting messy. So again, this is about mindfulness and all of that as well. Yes, messy in regards to creating more timelines unnecessarily, okay, is what I meant by that. But yeah, so just be careful. Just be more aware of what's going on around you and what it is that you're witnessing. And yeah, don't feed into what you don't need to, okay, for yourself. The other thing that they just pushed through to discuss in regards to the last transmission about mental aspects, I believe it was. I have so many notes. Oh, there we go. Yeah, mental aspects. Yeah, in regards to that, I don't know if I said it, but they just wanted me to mention it here. Basically, when you are being mindful of your thoughts and you're watching the thoughts come in and out, you're releasing all of that stuff, you're letting it all go, those mental aspects, you're clearing your mind as much as possible so that your higher self can feed through messages, information, all that stuff. And also, this is where you start to realize that the thoughts that come through into your mind are your higher selves, okay? And this is where you will be able to discern the difference between your higher self's thoughts and your human thoughts, your little human thoughts, okay? So, you know, if we were to use the example of myself, basically I'm in a space where, as I've previously said, I have 5% little human that likes to try and think for itself every so often, but otherwise it's my higher self, it's my oversoul now, sorry. It is my high, my oversoul speaking, basically thinking for me, speaking through me, all of it, okay? We empty our vessel as much as we can of the human aspects in order to allow our higher selves to come through and be this being, okay? And so therefore the thoughts and all those aspects are coming from your higher self, okay? So yeah, this is why I get stumped sometimes with words and labels, because I'm not actually really thinking for myself. Whatever needs to be spoken is coming through and coming out of my mouth, basically. So sometimes I will, and you will have noticed this, sometimes I will hit points where I'm trying to search for words, okay? So that's basically what that is. My head is basically empty, okay? Especially when I do these transmissions and they're literally speaking through me, okay, to you guys. So yeah, I mean, somewhere in there, 5% of my little personalities coming through as well, but again, that is the integration, okay, of both my little human and my higher selves, and you know, being the best version of myself at this time, in this moment, okay? So this is what you are moving towards. That is why they wanted me to mention this here, okay? So it is the space you are moving towards to come into, so that you just be, okay? That's all it is. You will just be, all right? Thank you, I have mentioned it before. Okay. The other thing I wanted to mention quickly is about excuse me, about the brutal attacks that I have been receiving, brutal energetic attacks, okay? I wasn't meant to be privy to what was going on at the time, and the epiphany came through yesterday, and my little human had a little rah-rah, because it was very much, why didn't you tell me this earlier? Why didn't this come through earlier, so that I could understand what was happening to me, instead of feeling like somebody's attacking me, okay, through their own personal triggers of me, okay. You guys know what I'm talking about here. I think the last time I mentioned I was being beaten up. I could feel myself being energetically beaten up around the head and being shot, and extremely brutal energies, because why not, right? Okay, so basically the development on that, the epiphany that came through eventually was basically that I'm clearing energies, okay, from a particular god's, Egyptian god, thank you, from their timelines, okay, where versions of themselves had acted, well, shall we say, indulged in their negative aspects and done some really horrific crimes or whatever, whatever, however you want to perceive it. Yeah, so basically I've been clearing these energies in order to embody this Egyptian god, okay, so and in terms of, if we're going to put it in terms of quantum entanglement, okay, I have spoken of before previously about my lovely copycat. Yeah, anyway, yeah, that person gets triggered by me. And so when they get triggered by me, what that does is it sends a signal, okay? And then it sends a signal off to whatever timeline, as I have now found out, a timeline that exists on whatever space reality for the avatar, the God self avatar that I will be embodying, the Egyptian God self avatar that I will be embodying. One of their timelines gets triggered, and then the energetic attack comes through to me, okay? And so through that, I'm receiving the energetic attack, and while that is happening, that version of themselves is then being, shall we say, escorted off to be rehabilitated, okay? Because essentially that is what I'm here for. That is part of my purpose here as a, well, yes, first waver, but particularly with my Indigo 3 contract, okay, is basically, what's that word? Thank you. Facilitating the progress of rehabilitation, okay, with beings, with gods, with whatever aspects of beings and gods, okay. So, yeah, quantumly speaking, it's quite intricate and detailed, but yeah, basically that is essentially it. That is part of my Indigo 3 contract, is that I receive these energies, and then that version, thank you, of themselves, okay, is then shall we say, arrested and then escorted off to be rehabilitated, okay. And basically the process of rehabilitation is that version or that being, because each timeline is a physical representation of themselves, okay. It is as real as I am sitting here on that timeline, okay. So that version of themselves gets taken off to get rehabilitated, and what that means for them is that they move from a space of service to self to service to others, okay. That is the rehabilitation that is happening here, with our negative Nancy friends who are pushing through these energetic attacks and have done all of these things on whatever timelines, okay, that we have been receiving. Yes, thank you. And a lot of the timeline collapsing that has been occurring is due to the rehabilitation processes, okay. So thank you. That's for you to know, which is amazing, okay. It is fantastic. But this is many of us within the first wave who are doing the Indigo 3 contract. This is our responsibility to assist in rehabilitating these physical beings from being a service to self being, and rehabilitating them to being a service to others being, okay? So, they kind of go back to God and they come back into the space of oneness and learn about their own transcendence process and so on and so forth, okay? That is part of the rehabilitation process for them, okay? Now, for myself here, in my physical reality, I am basically, in regards to quantum entanglement, I am tied to this particular person, okay? So, however which way that I manage to trigger this person, it then triggers off the signal to whatever timeline, and that aspect of that Egyptian god is then pushing through the energetic attack. I receive it, blah, 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 all of what I've previously said. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning this here is because of the quantum entanglement with this particular, shall we say, person here in this physical reality. This is part of our contract with each other. We have agreed to do this. Okay, so I have come to know. We have agreed to work together, okay? However that presents in both our physical realities, okay? On higher levels, what's actually happening, that's a goosebumps, I haven't even said it. What's actually happening on higher dimensions is that we are actually helping each other, okay? So a higher dimensional version of this person, a higher dimensional version of this person is actually assisting me to work through those, shall we say, negative energies of that Egyptian god in order for me to embody that god. And so while they're assisting me to go through that part of my process, I'm actually helping them. I'm assisting them on higher dimensions to get them through their rehabilitation process, okay? And as I have mentioned before, things happen up on higher dimensions and it filters down into the physical reality. Okay, yes, that's why I'm saying it. Goosebumps. Okay, so basically what's going to happen here is that these energies will filter down into that physical representation of that person who we've been assisting each other up there in higher dimensions. It will filter down to the physical representation of themselves, okay, here in this physical reality. And at some point, I don't know when, but at some point there'll be a huge shift within them where they go from being a service to others, a service to self being here in the physical reality, to being a service to others being within the physical reality, okay? That will be the outcome of this rehabilitation situation with this quantum entanglement between us. We can call it that, or, the contract basis of our interaction, so to speak, okay? So that is an eventual point for them. So, within the physical reality, yeah, it kind of looks like, things are like, between us, and that's okay. Our physical selves do have to wear these energies and experience it and go through it in order to push out all that stuff, okay? Me within myself and that person within themselves. And then as everything filters down for myself, I come back to a space of neutrality as well. And they come back to a space of service to others, okay? So that is basically the process of rehabilitation that has been happening, okay? And it is a little bit complex, but, I hope that you guys understood that. But that is essentially what is happening, and this is where I've been guided to keep my focus, because they finally decided to show me what was going on with that, and now it's okay. I'm okay with letting go of, witnessing it and whatever with others, because I have this to focus on, and yes, as well as everything else, exactly. So much to do, but in regards to lessening my workload, basically I need to keep my focus on as little as possible, so that I do have space for myself as well to to do whatever it is that I am allowed to do outside of mission work, shall we say. But that is essentially what is happening between myself and this copycat person, okay? On high dimensional levels, we are assisting each other to work through our processes, okay? Yeah, and that is process of rehabilitation for them and process of continued transcendence for myself. Yes, for them it is a process of transcendence. Of course it is. But in terms of whatever it is we're assisting with on higher levels, okay, I'll leave it with that, okay? So yeah, unfortunately in the meantime, that means that I do need to suffer these brutal attacks, these brutal energetic attacks that come through in order to clear those timelines. And I'm basically doing it by myself because this is my my contract with this being themselves, ourselves, okay? Yeah, so one of the things that that came through last night was another one of these brutal attacks because I started, I was cooking dinner and I started smelling something, and Francie comes over a lot. Hi, Francie. Francie comes over a lot every now and then and has dinner with us and all the rest of it. But yeah, so he was here last night, and while I was cooking, I started smelling this toxic smell. And as I have previously said, in the physical reality here, I don't have a sense of smell, but on a multi-dimensional level, yes, I do. My Claire Gustins, thank you. Is that the one? Is that the smell? No, Claire scent. I'm so sorry. Oh gosh, excuse me. Yeah, see, I confused myself and I have to kind of go back to those Claires because I always confused the two. Claire Gustin sounds like it should be a smell. Anyway, Claire scent. Through my Claire scent on a multi-dimensional level, okay, I smelt this toxic thing, and what unfolded was that I was smelling like one basic mixture of toxic, shall we say, ingredients, and then there was another toxic smell after that. Okay, so these were two levels of gases basically. And then what ended up playing out while I'm cooking, mind you, I was basically dropped into this virtual reality cinematic experience of experiencing the lovely Nazi timelines where the Holocaust was happening, basically being in a gas chamber, and you know, with all these other people around me, I could see them, I could feel them, I could hear them, I could everything. So I was doing my best to kind of tune out to that while I was focusing on dinner. And even then, I thank you, I did. I managed to get a few things wrong with my kids' food because I was literally in two spaces at once, my physical reality plus this virtual reality cinematic experience of going through the process of being in a gas chamber, being gassed and dying on that timeline basically through that, okay, through that Nazi Germany time space. Gosh. And look, you know, that's never been a pretty thing to have ever learnt over the years of, you know, my growing and everything, and to have known what that was about and all that. Never emotions, I'm sorry if I've triggered anybody. I'm going to detach from that. I've never understood the reasoning as to why that had to happen, okay, from the compassionate being perspective, okay. I believe I have spoken of this before. I've never understood why people do what they do, why beings do what they do, but it is what it is, and these are the energies that had to play out for their own reasons. Can we detach from that, please? Yeah, I can feel emotions coming through. I'm sorry if I've triggered anybody. 44, 49 and 50. Wow, I've talked some shit. I'm so sorry for this time. Okay, I will get through this as quickly as possible. Yeah, so basically I went through the gas chamber time space on that timeline, and feeling myself die through that, and then receiving downloads on the feminine side and the masculine side and that's when the epiphany came through, which was very, very quick this time. It actually came through really quickly. Usually I would wait a few hours. This was not even, I don't think it was even over an hour. I think it was much less, probably half an hour at the most, where the epiphany came through. And this is where I came to understand what was actually happening on higher dimensions between myself and that that copycat person. But anyway, yeah, so the thank you. I do need to mention the ringing in my ears that came through. Basically, the higher pitch frequencies that you hear when it comes through, the high pitch ringing, that is for your higher awareness, higher dimensional work, even anything to do with the higher dimensions. Okay, now sometimes you will hear a low tone, and the low tone has to do with your physical reality. Okay, now what I heard last night from both sides, coming in both sides, so it was from myself as well as my dude, but both aspects within myself as well. What I heard last night was a mixture of both. It was both tones at the same time, both high pitched and low pitched, coming in at the same time through my feminine side and then through my masculine side. And it was basically then that the epiphany came through in regards to what was happening on higher dimensions between myself and this person, as well as what needs to happen here in the physical reality between myself and this person. Okay, so this is basically where I can now sit here and let you guys know that that's what that situation is, and how that's been playing out. Okay, so you know, as amazing as that is with the rehabilitation process, you know, these energetic attacks are pretty full on, and they're a bit insane and intense for myself, but that's okay, because this is what I need to go through, experience and receive in order to clear those energies and collapse out those timelines particularly. Okay, so I mean, look, I don't know how many more that I will need to experience, but that whole Nazi Germany situation is completely, that word that they're not allowing me to say, mental. Okay, I'll say mental. Thank you. Yeah, it is. It's completely mental. It's completely unnecessary, but it is what it is. That's what had to play out, and for the time being, I will continue to receive whatever energetic attacks that I need to in order to, thank you, absolve these timelines and collapse them out and make the necessary corrections in order to embody that that next Egyptian god, because I had felt them come in, aspects of them coming in for probably about a week or so. Excuse me, in regards to hearing the scarab beetle and clairaudiently hearing the scarab beetle and just little things like that to do with Egypt. But yeah, so this is the space that I'm in, and that is what I'm having to deal with. So when if I do mention, you know, some of my brutal energetic attacks, it's to do with this situation, this whole rehabilitation process that I am a part of because of my Indigo 3 contract. So it is pretty major because, you know, because it is all Claire's inclusive. Okay, I'm feeling things physically, hearing, smelling, seeing all of it, literally tasting even. I was tasting the gases as well as smelling them. Anyway, it's pretty full on. But yeah, and look, whenever that point comes that is all resolved and they their physical self has been rehabilitated and all of that, I will let you guys know. But you know, yeah, in the meantime, I may just mention, I'll try and keep it as short as possible, and I may mention a little bit of whatever it is that is happening. But you know, yeah, it's full on. But I just wanted to let you guys know that that's basically what's up with these brutal attacks and why I've been receiving them as insanely intense as I have been. But that's okay. I'll detach from that because my human doesn't like it, not at all, and my human shouldn't like that, and your human shouldn't like a lot of the energetic attacks that are coming in through to you, you know, that you are receiving. Of course you're not meant to. Thank you. One of the things that I do need to mention here is, you know, in regards to our clairsentient abilities, okay, particularly moving into the monad space and matrix, okay, when you are receiving the intergalactic energies and energetic attacks from all these time-space realities from wherever across the cosmos and all the rest of it, okay, your human is not meant to like it, okay. Your human needs to surrender to it and allow it to go through its process, of course, but your human is not meant to like it. And the reason why your human is not meant to like it is because, and I did explain this to Francie, but it's because on Earth here, there are particular rules that humanity somewhat abides by, okay, shall we say. And yes, of course, those rules get broken, okay. That, of course, there has been rape, there's been murder, there's been theft, robbery, and all those things that, you know, thank you, you know, people do take rules as, okay, they need to be broken, and then, you know, whatever it is that they need to work through, they go and do that in accordance to their soul contracts, okay, for themselves. But in any case, shall we say, on the whole, there is rules that humanity has here on Earth, okay, and that's what that is. And then you go off to another planet in whatever solar system, across the galaxy, across the time-space continuum, that light years away, whatever constellation. Let's just say an outer space planet somewhere in the cosmos. That took a while. Let's take a planet way out there and let's look at them and what their rules are on their planet, okay? Now, some planets out there, and I'm being triggered by this hair thing again. Anyway, some planets out there have different allowances and different rules for their planet that are very different and that differ greatly from Earth and humanity's rules as such, okay? So, an example of this is maybe on Planet X, shall we say. Planet X has this allowance of torturing, okay, and that's okay because everybody tortures whoever, okay. Look, for this example, you know, regardless of everything that is happening currently, for this example, let's say that planet allows torture. Let's say another planet allows slavery. Let's say another planet allows all these experimentations, okay? Now, in regards to your monad space, when all these intergalactic energies come in, okay, basically, want me to draw a diagram? Huh? Oh no, I don't have it. I wiped it out. Basically, when all these energies come in to little human you here on Earth, your human acknowledges this and processes it as, I don't like this and I don't want this. because this is inhumane, okay? Let's just say I'm going to put Earth as a blue planet. And, okay. These other planets are just outer space planets from wherever. I'm not going to continue trying to go around in circles to get to the one little teeny tiny point. I mean, honestly. Where's my orange? I keep missing my orange. This is unbelievable, but that's okay. The pink doesn't work. I'm going to use the pink. Okay. So this is, again, a little bit more about the monad level, okay? Because as I've said previously, there is so much to discuss in regards to the monad level, and I'm doing my best to condense it as much as possible for you guys, particularly with the quantum physics aspects. Okay. And then, oh, are we doing speech bubbles? Speech bubbles. Okay, so basically what I've drawn here is basically what I just said. Okay, so from these other planets, okay, there are different allowances, different rules to each and every planet, including Earth, okay? And this is you here on Earth in your physical reality, okay? And basically, when these energies come in clairsentiently, okay, and you feel these attacks, your little human is basically going to translate these attacks, acknowledge them, and know within themselves, do you know what? This is inhumane. This is painful. My little human, I shouldn't have to experience this. And this is why there is a speech bubble where little human is having a rah-rah and possibly swearing off their head. And yeah. So basically that is a part of your monad space, okay, is that you do experience all of these and you become incredibly aware of what is allowed and what isn't allowed on other planetary spaces, shall we say, okay, intergalactically, okay. So, you know, at an eventual point, your human's perspective on what is right and what is wrong for the little human, your human's perspective will come into account. Thank you. Will need to be accounted for. Okay, somewhere in your process. I will get to that when they want me to discuss it. But for now, basically, this is how it feels. Okay, when all of this stuff come in, and you know, you start questioning, how is this allowed? How am I receiving this attack? And what makes these beings think that they can do this to another being, to a human, to whichever? That is essentially it, okay? And that is where you become acutely aware of humanity's rules and rules on other planets, okay? And look, at some eventual point, you know, you will need to come to realize that, you know, should you be in a position where you can go to these other planets and access these other planets, when you go to these other planets, you need to follow their rules as much as they need to follow your rules or our rules here on Earth. I mean, that should be the case, but, you know, for now, in this space, we're working to clear all that stuff, okay? That's what this ascension cycle is about. But at that eventual point when you can go off and visit these other planets as a physical form, however that will present in that time space, by that point, these energies will have been rehabilitated, okay, and worked through. So you will not have to deal with those extreme energies and have to worry about whether you're going to be taken off to get tortured and slaved and all that stuff. Okay, enslaved. Thank you. But yeah, so yeah, part of this ascension cycle right now is the indigo contract with a lot of our first wavers working through the rehabilitation process in order to rehabilitate all these beings, okay, so that there is peace. At an eventual point, there is peace, there is harmony, and everybody's working through their process of transcendence, all beings, all together, working as one. Thank you. And thank you for the sign again. We're all in this together. And yeah, it is literally not strictly just humans here on Earth. It is everybody everywhere that is going through this ascension cycle, intergalactically and everything, okay? So yeah, a huge, major job for all of us, okay? But as I've said before, please try not to bog yourself down with the immensity of it all, okay? Keep your focus here with what you're doing for yourself, okay, in your inner work. Okay, 101, 12 and 13, oh my gosh, okay. I do apologise that this has gone as long as it has. These transmissions this week have gone for quite some time. But hopefully it is condensed full of information that you find is works for you, okay, that you do come to understand on some level, okay. I will leave this here. Sorry, I was just looking for my pen lid. I will leave this here. And yeah, if you guys have anything to add in terms of clairsentient energies or anything else that you've been picking up on or receiving, excuse me, please by all means add it in a comment or send me an email and let me know things that have been happening with you, okay, because there is a lot going on at the moment. It just feels like one big massive pot of stew, honestly. It really does, but it is what it is, and look, we're all doing our best, okay? We're all doing our best to get through it, and that is all we can do, all right? Okay, guys, I will leave it there. Thank you all so much for watching and still being here at this point, at the end of the transmission, and yeah, I will speak to you guys soon, and hope that you guys are taking care of yourselves and getting through okay, particularly with so much happening. But you know, from what I'm feeling, everyone's in a pretty good space, okay? There isn't too much negative aspects that are coming through, so that's amazing. And you know, well done to you guys for pushing through and doing your best for yourself, okay? You know, as I said, that's all that can be asked of you, all right? Okay, guys, please take care, stay strong, and keep going, all right? Sending you all so much love. Mwah. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.